Hi everyone, Julia here from Little Shop of Nerds with
Mike, what's up?
Hey, so happy Pride Month everybody. So as we have told you before, we will be doing all this month we will be doing our videos on LGBTQ plus movies.
Or Pride movies.
Pride movies, that too, yeah. So, some of these might be a little dark.
Some might be good.
All the movies that we do have planned do have very good reviews, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. And today we're going to start with a downer, but we have to because this is actually happens in America, and there's some I think still going on today.
Yeah. So the hint was religion.
Today we are going to talk about a movie starring Nicole Kidman, Russell Crowe, and this is called Erased Boy. This is
Erased.
Boy Erased. Sorry. Either way, this is about I forget his name.
His name is Jared. This is based off of a memoir of a guy named Gerard Connolly. I do believe, and it is actually his experience growing up as the son of a pastor who does come out as gay. And his family sends him to conversion therapy
and
to try to make him straight.
Yes, and like I said, this is a really dark movie because this is showing a lot of extreme religion overtones, pretty much being gay bashing everything and telling you what to feel, what to do, and everything they did to poison everyone. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a religious man. I just say go with whatever religion you pick. But I am going to say about religion I don't like is the extremists. Because they only take stuff, they say they read the Bible back and forth, but they only take the stuff they consider for their own pleasure to feel their own satisfaction.
And I think that's what a lot of people have the problem with religion is that they just pick and choose what they want to.
What to hear, say, and my opinion, I just say, don't be a dick and let people be people. And if they like a guy, let them like a guy.
Yeah, I mean, love is love, guys. So.
Peace.
So, it starts off with showing some home videos, and I think these are probably the real person that the story is based off of. And then it cuts to, Jared, and he's eating dinner with his family, and then his mom, and him get in the car, and they drive to this place. Turns out that it's a conversion therapy. They have to follow all these rules. They have to submit to searches every day. They couldn't have, they would check his cell phone every day to make sure that there was nothing inappropriate on his cell phones. They would call numbers at random from his cell phone, like that type of thing. And he's like, well, I have nothing to hide. And so he goes in and he seems like he's enjoying it at first. Like he's smiling and he thinks that this would be like a good place and maybe it could fix him. And that type of thing. And because his dad, like we had said, his dad is a pastor, and his dad owns a dealership, and his mom, I think, is a school teacher, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But they have all these rules that they have to follow. Like you can't masturbate, you can't look at pornography, you can't handshakes can't last more than just like a couple seconds.
It's even worse. They were like if you had to use the bathroom, some guy had to be there.
Yeah, if you had to use the bathroom, a staff member had to watch you use the bathroom to make sure that you weren't doing anything that you weren't supposed to be doing. So I don't know if that just means to keep a couple of the people from like having sex, or or keep them from jerking off or whatever.
I think the problem is either way, because like you said, it starts out he thinks he's enjoying it, then when he gets down to it, we see him in college, and I guess it's a Christian college.
Yeah, it's all like flashbacks. So like they had to do this thing called a genograph, and you had to go through, and they had like this list like, oh, well, there was like I think it was like SSH for like same sex homosexual relationship. There was like A for alcoholism, P for like pornography, the $sign for gambling, whatever. Because they're like, you weren't born like this, which I do believe it has been proven that gay people are born gay.
I agree.
I agree too, yeah. So, they were like, well, how you grew up and how you were raised treated or made you the way that you are. Like, we need to find the root of that problem to fix you, basically. And I'm like, I don't see how my parent or my uncle being an alcoholic would make me gay.
It's true. It's like it's pretty much what they think that causes it. This is like I said, people try religious studies try to tell you study it, and it was it. There, in my opinion, it comes down to you're born with it. Don't say otherwise.
Yeah.
And there is a doctor in the movie saying, "I understand about religion, but I'm also a doctor, and I studied and I read the Bible. But when it comes down to it, you gotta think: do you want to? It's either you're born with it, and that's what you gotta accept." And to her, she's telling it's okay to be gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not until actually no, that is shortly after he came out. So, like Mike said, he did go to a college because he had a girlfriend when he was in high school. And she wanted to go all the way, but he wasn't getting hard because at that point, he didn't know it was wrong. He's like, oh well, I just want to wait for marriage, but they had broken up, and he went to, it might have been a Christian college.
Right?
I don't know.
It's just we don't know. Then he finds a boy that's been with, and he's jogging with, and
They're becoming friends. They're going to church together.
and they were, I think, starting to. I think one night they were trying to, you know, fool around and other stuff.
No, he was raped that night.
Oh fuck.
That was rape.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. This guy that he was spending time with, raped Jared. Because he definitely, sorry guys if that triggers anybody.
And truth be told, we're not. I believe you have to say it sometimes to get it out, but I get it is a trigger word, and we don't want to say it all the time, but we can't cover it up by just because I get it. We have to say certain things so we don't cause people fun. Yeah. So in my opinion, what we just said it once, but we're not going to replace with grape. I'm sorry.
Yes. So after they do get interrupted, and I don't know, for some reason, like, I didn't feel like Jared's his reaction at the time just didn't feel genuine to me. Like he had just been raped. And then the guy admitted, he's like, that guy that was standing in front of us at church, he goes, I did some bad things to him too. And that the person that was standing in front of them at the church looked like he was a young child, maybe a teenager. Um, so he does end up he starts avoiding this guy. Henry is his name. He starts avoiding him. And then he goes home for something, and Henry calls his parents and basically outs him to his parents. Now, guys, don't out people. Like, you don't know what kind of situation they could be in.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like, okay, I mean, it's not lucky that he got sent to a conversion therapy or place, but at least he was lucky enough to have been in a family where they genuinely thought that they were trying to help him. Like, cause that's the thing with with conversion therapy, is that they frame it as they are trying to help. And that's not the case for conversion therapy. It's never been the case. So I genuinely think that his parents thought that they were helping him. But he was like, his parents confronted him when they heard about it. And then
mostly the father was interrogating him, and he kept asking, who told you, because truth be told, they shouldn't have told him.
Yeah. So he does eventually, he does admit to he admits that this guy Henry did some things to, this boy, and I don't know who else he's done things to. And then he did come down and he admitted that he was gay to his parents, and they called a couple of, I think they were maybe the deacons of the church, and they called him over, they prayed over him, and then he got sent to a conversion therapy place.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, it was just very,
It was really terrible.
yeah, so he starts to, like, it just shows him doing like a bunch of different things. Like, they took him to a batting cage, and they were supposed to be hitting the ball. One kid got a concussion from it because he was getting hit, and that kid's parents pulled him out because he's like, you gave my son a concussion. And then the pastor went off on them and saying, hey, you're not supposed to be talking about what goes on here. Like, it's secret. And if anybody tells you that's secret, like,
get the fuck out.
Yeah, definitely get out, because that's no. So, we see more of we see another thing where Jared meets this one guy named Xavier, and they spent the night together, but nothing happened. They just kind of like slept in the same bed together. And so there was a kid named Cameron who got beat by his family, his little sister. People there at the therapy, they beat him with Bibles, because he just couldn't, like, articulate how he hated his parents, because I don't think he really did hate his parents.
And that was the problem. He kept saying, you hate your dad. I mean, he's like, I don't hate him.
Well, that was with Jared.
Right.
We're talking about Cameron.
Cameron, right.
The fat guy.
Poor Cameron, though.
Yeah, so, so Jared does get into an altercation with the pastor, and they, like Mike was saying, that they were trying to get him to admit that he hated his father. And he says, no, I don't hate my father, I hate you. Because he started to become disenfranchised, I think is the right word I'm looking for. Or disillusioned. He started to see everything for what it was. Like, with the help of this one guy who was like ex-military. And then there was another guy there that was like, hey, like, just pretend like you're getting better and until they release you. And then once you get home, then you can figure it out then. But he did manage to get away. He called his mom. His mom came and got him, took him home. His dad didn't want him to come home. His dad wanted him to stay, but she's like, no, we're going home. They took him home, and then the next morning, I think they find out that Cameron had committed suicide. And that kind of broke Jared. Because I don't know the statistics, but I know that teens in the LGBT community typically have a higher suicide rate than regular teen, or I don't want to say regular teens, but teens that aren't. And it's just kind of sad that this kid did turn out to be a statistic. And I think that this was one of the, like, a real kid that had ended up committing suicide. Because I mean, this movie is based off of this book that is based off this guy's life. And that's a pretty sad thing. So, we see Jared 4 years later. He's living in New York City. He is definitely doing better. And he has become a writer. And he wrote I think it was an article on conversion therapy. He sent it to his parents. His mom read it, but his dad hasn't. He went home, and he managed to get his dad to read it. And then his dad, they kind of came to like a very,
some agreement.
An agreement, yeah.
Like, we love you, but we can't be, we don't want to be affiliated with it.
Yeah, but I mean, his dad said that he resented the fact that he might not be a grandfather. But he did seem to maybe accept the fact that his son might be gay. He said he was willing to change his mindset.
Yeah, and
which is a good step forward.
In my opinion, when he said he won't be a grandfather, but I'm like, you can still be a grandfather. He could adopt, or
I think he was like talking about like biological grandchildren.
Still, you can.
I know.
Or you ever heard you find a surrogate?
I know.
Because that's what some gay.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Calm down, Mike. So, but he did invite his dad, because this is around like November. So he did invite. He's like, I invited mom to spend Christmas with me in New York. He's like, you're welcome to come if you want to. And then that's kind of where the story ends, or where the movie ends. And it just kind of shows that, Jared, or the real person that Jared is based off of, it is living in New York City with his husband. And then this is the twist. The pastor was actually gay himself. And he is now living in Texas with his husband. So, it kind of makes me wonder if he had just done this. There was there's something I need to look up. You want to keep talking, Mike?
Sure. Like I said, they were showing clips of the real Jared, talking about, even mentioned he was making a memoir. His memoir sold copies, and like she said, about him and his husband, and the pastor and husband. But like I said, I love this movie. It's a good movie. It's one of those movies make you really think, because we know about those type of things. We heard what they did, though it is a fiction. It is a movie. this can actually happen in real life. Because like I said, I was with religious people. Some were not that crazy, some were, and let's just say it's never a good sign when you meet the over extremists.
Yeah. Okay, so it says here, this is the personal life on John Smid, who Victor Sykes, which was the pastor, is based off of. It says, before claiming he had changed from homosexuality to heterosexuality, Smid lived for years married to a woman and fathering children. It was during this marriage that he said he was gay, divorcing his first wife in 1980. 4 years following his divorce, Smith became a Christian and sought conversion from homosexuality to heterosexuality. He married a second time, but by 2011 said, I would consider myself homosexual and yet in a marriage with a woman. That year, he and his wife divorced. On November 16th, 2014, Smith married a man, Larry McQueen. The couple married in Oklahoma as same-sex marriage was not yet recognized in Texas where they lived. So that wasn't the I wasn't looking for that quote. There was another quote that I was looking for that somebody said, and I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's definitely it is definitely a eye opener. So they had uh there's a guy named Brandon. I'm not quite sure which guy it was. But he was played by Flea, and if you don't know who Flea is from the rock band the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's who he was. I was like,
was he the dude that was like that had like all the tattoos on his neck and on his arms?
I think so. But I was like, oh, this guy looks familiar. And once you mentioned it was Flea, and I'm like, that's who it was.
Yeah, he's the bassist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I do believe he's the bassist.
If I remember right, he also voiced Donnie on the Wild Thornberrys.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was definitely
it was an eye opener.
Yeah. And it was just it was very heartbreaking. Because I mean conversion therapy still goes on today. And I think we might need to step up and say enough is enough. Like, just let people be who they want to be.
And my advice, if people don't like that, I just say this. Raise your hand, turn your fist, stick one finger up, and say, I don't give a fuck. I am what I am.
Yeah.
Except for PDF files.
Yeah. PDF files just need to be buried. So just, don't out people for what they are. Because there might be a reason why they can't tell anybody yet or tell their parents why.
Yes.
So just don't do that. Just be support for your gay and lesbian trans friends, just be there to support them, but don't out them.
And also don't assume they are either.
Exactly. Because there is such a thing as feminine men, but they're completely straight.
Yeah, I think.
Look at John Cryer from 2.5 Men.
He was feminine?
Yeah, didn't you ever?
I never thought he was that feminine. I know he was really feminine in Pretty in Pink.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, but he wasn't that feminine in 2.5 Men, though. If you look at
it. He was a little bit.
But when he was in Supergirl playing Lex Luthor, he was hardly feminine.
Yeah, well, he is an actor, but
still.
But he did say that he was playing Alan kind of feminine.
Yeah.
He did admit to that.
Yeah. Now he's bald.
Yeah. So just there are, just like there are some masculine men, there are some feminine men, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are gay.
And masculine women.
Exactly. Feminine women. I mean, I don't think I'm either one of those. I'm probably right somewhere in the middle, but
I think tomboy.
Tomboy, I can see that.
More like I think tomboy is like in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I did grow up as a tomboy.
So there.
Yeah. So,
Right.
just don't assume somebody, like, even if it's like a little girl playing with toys or like with trucks or whatever, don't assume that she's gonna grow up to be gay or whatever,
Or trans.
Or trans. So, just this movie was really good. I give it like a 10 out of 10.
Yep.
And it is on Netflix if you guys want to watch it.
Yep.
So, I'm going to go ahead and give next week's hint. So next week's hint is going to be Forbidden Love. We're basically doing what we did last year, where we did a movie focused on two men, and then a movie focused on two women, two men, two women. We are basically doing that again this year. So, next week's review will be on a movie that is based off of two women, or a romance between the two of them. So, all these, like I said, all these have very good reviews or very good scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So, these should be pretty good.
Yep. What's next week's in?
I already said Forbidden Love.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, we will see you guys later. Bye.